because I want to take you through this process. I know you can do that now if you find it, because it's a really cool map to understand and to start taking control of your life. Don't be confused by all these. Can you see? I don't know. Anu, can one see my cursor on the screen?
I can't see your cursor, but
Okay, then you have to use your cursor. So at the moment, we're only concerned about the Bermuda Triangle. Can you see that joke
like
up there?
like
Please remind me to explain why I call it the Bermuda Triangle in case I forgot. So here it is. Here's the first part. So it's a little bit technical, perhaps, what I'm doing right now, but we need that to set it up for you when we do our hypnosis experience, for you to have the most benefit from it. Okay, so there is a triangle that I call the thought, emotion, reality triangle. And what that means is that what comes first? Is it a thought? Is it an emotion? Or is it your reality? Think about that. And if you just want to feel into that, everything begins with a thought. If you wouldn't have a thought about something, you wouldn't have an emotion about it. There are very few exceptions to that, but generally you can say that you first need to be aware and thinking about something, and that almost often instantaneously creates a feeling or an emotion in you. And everything begins with a thought, whether you want to have a baby or build a skyscraper. The very first thing, some people say, no, you get an architect. No, I said, no, way before that. Or you get a loan from the bank. I said, no, way before that. Well, what could that be? Well, you have to have a thought. Without a thought, nothing happens. So now comes what I would like you to take in. If thoughts create feelings or emotions, if it happens once, well, it happens once. But what if we have kind of repeating thoughts that are repeating certain emotions? What I call a thought emotion package. And if you look into your own life, this is the best way to learn in my experience. If you reflect what I'm saying into your inner world, what is either you start with emotion or with thought. If you're very depressed, you have depressing thoughts. If you feel like a failure, you have thoughts of failure. If you feel, oh, you're so in love, well, then you have loving thoughts, right? So if you have a thought emotion package regularly, that creates your reality. Think about that. Let that sink in for a moment, because it's actually the crux of the matter. Once we understand that, because the outer world seems to be bombarding us with stimulus, and it is, but it all depends what we do with it in our inner world. I drove once along the road, and there was an accident. And it's sad to see an accident. And it was where the road turns off into a resort. And then I saw a few cars kind of parked behind the accident. And then I saw a bride in her wedding dress leaning over a person lying at the side on the road. And that was really sad. They were obviously going to a wedding reception, and there they had a car accident on that day. And I wonder whether this woman or the whole party ever can have thoughts of the wedding without thinking what happened on that day. It's tainting everything. Good things and bad things that taint our reality. So think a moment what kind of repetitive thoughts you have that create repetitive emotions, and that in turn creates your reality, how you perceive the world to be. And then the question is, so where do you put the spanner in the wheels? If I'm right that you might be joining this to improve your reality, then where do you put the spanner in the wheel? Can you change your reality just like that? No. Can you change your emotions just like that? With difficulty. Can you change your thoughts? Yes, you can. And that is where many of my clients, because I get good feedback from them, I sometimes have the feeling that people have been disempowered to a degree that they think they are victims to their thoughts. And this is possibly one of the biggest message that I have here for you today, is that that's not so. You are in charge of your thought world, at least to a big and large degree. And I'm going to tell you about that in a moment. So if you can buy into this, that thought, emotion, reality triangle, which I call the BerMOODa triangle, and you know why? Because in the BerMOODa triangle, things get lost. Mysteriously. And in the BerMOODa triangle of our inner world, you know what gets lost? Our joy, our zest for life, our inspiration, our faith sometimes, and it's just gone. And it all has to do with that. And I actually had to Google it. I asked actually AI, I said, did ever something mysteriously appear out of a BerMOODa triangle? We know that things disappear. And the AIs on various platforms were very consistent that there are no reports of anything beautiful appearing out of the BerMOODa triangle. So it is a hot spot. This triangle is a hot spot. And if you see it like that there is a connection between thought, emotion, and reality, and you now kind of come to the obvious conclusion that the only way to put a spanner in the wheel is with your thoughts. Does it make sense so far, what I'm saying? So if we would go on a thought diet, if we only would have happy thoughts, what would you be? You would be happy. Yeah, okay, that sounds a lot easier than it is, isn't it? But strictly speaking, that's true. If you would only have thoughts of one kind, then you would have a certain kind of emotion, and that would definitely have a huge impact on how you perceive the world out there, your reality to it. So this is the basis of the understanding that we need to take, and where we go from here is, so this thought diet sounds really interesting, but how do I do that?